All right. Wait for the stream to pop up here. And look at that. I did not leave the sound on for the stream, which I usually do like a novice, like the novice that I am. All right. I guess this is the officially third, unofficially fourth an ounce an inch stream, which I'm no longer calling it a podcast because it's not a podcast. It's done on a computer and I stream it, and then I record it at the same time and post it separately on YouTube. So it's a YouTube video then. It's not a podcast. It's a stream. So I'm going to change that in the descriptions on YouTube, but I will get to that later. Today I wanted to talk about something I keep seeing popping up on YouTube because fishy stuff happening in the NFL. Some fans are just super upset, so they obviously start yelling, it's rigged. The NFL's rigged, bro. You didn't know? You didn't know, bro? So I brought up some stuff here, the reasons why that they think the NFL is rigged, and we're going to go through each one of their videos that they think proves that it is fixed, and we will see if we agree or not. I've just come across a ton of them, and a while back, I guess I'm not a huge NFL fan, but I do like to watch the highlights of the games, regardless if it's fake or not. It's like a WWE fan. They don't care if it's fake or not because they're watching it for entertainment. And that's one of the things that the people, NFL fans on YouTube will get pissed off about. They'll be like, I read the back of my ticket when I went to the game and it said entertainment purposes only. See what that means? That means it's fake. That's exactly what the WWE tickets say. And I guess that's true, but they also just don't want to get sued. So they just say it's entertainment. And I'm sure anything with sports betting, they have to... It's like insider trader information or whatever. You can't really... if it's rigged, how can you have sports betting? That's just fishy to me. But I wanted to go through some of these videos. First off, I want to make a prediction maybe. According to the conspiracy theorists, they're trying to say it's going to be the Patriots who get upset this year, and I don't think it's going to be in the Super Bowl. I think they're saying it's going to be in the championship game here, the NFC, or was it AFC? I don't fucking remember. Championship. I don't know, whatever. They have some theory about it. We'll get to that later. But they predicted this. This dude last year predicted this to happen. So I might go find his channel again and see what he says about this year. So this is a funny one. This guy says this wide receiver gave the thumbs up to this guy, like, don't tackle me. Like, we're cool, right, bro? I mean, it does look like he's doing it, but let's get into the play here. I don't want to waste so much time on this dude. He's so mad. So this guy obviously misses the tackle, like a weak little arm tackle. He actually almost fumbles it because he's trying to give this guy the thumb up. And then this guy completely whiffs on the tackle, which I just don't understand how a professional could whiff like this. But you'll see a much more embarrassing whiff here. Let me show it to you. Here we go. So this guy's giving the thumbs up. This guy misses embarrassingly after the thumbs up. So that's basically the whole video. That's this guy's, this is proof that it's rigged. He gives him the thumbs up and then misses embarrassing. Boom. Okay. That is definitely fishy. And this really lazy arm tackle that this guy was going for. And this dude wasn't making like a crazy juke or nothing. He just ducks under, and this guy just it's like something out of Charlie Brown or some shit, some cartoon. So I thought that was pretty fucking funny. I don't know. That's not necessarily proof that it's all rigged, but the thumbs up and then the missed tackle is definitely fishy. Then this guy is really mad because he thinks this was pass interference, which you can pretty much see the dude's grabbing his arm, and that's not legal. And if you look here, the referee is right here, so he can see that. It's not like it's hiding, it's not like he's hiding his pass interference. But these guys are trying to say these games are pre-planned, there's a winner, and the refs are basically the ones who can help fix the game. And then some of them say that some of the players are involved with it, like some cornerbacks. One guy was showing that on every third down, they would just call a holding foul. And it was because every third down, the cornerbacks would just totally hold the receiver. So basically at any point they could throw a flag for pass interference. And I heard someone say there was this quote from a referee that there's a pass interference and a holding on every play. So if you want to call it, you can call it, but they wait. I don't know what their rules are about that, but that's just something an ex-referee said that I thought was fishy. So yeah, there's just an obvious hold here. God damn it, this dude's just got to keep pausing this video. All right, let's make it happen, dude. Yeah, holding. Boom, yep. It's definitely contact before the ball gets there. Which you've seen this being called a pass interference many times before, but maybe the referee missed it. Maybe he, I don't know, maybe he missed it. Who fucking knows? So, this is funny. All right. This is bonkers right here. All right, I'm not going to listen to this guy talk. So, he fumbles the ball. All right, let's make this happen. Now he's going to fucking pause me on this bitch right now. Okay. Maybe I should have got a better video. All right, he fumbles the ball. And you'll see he comes right back up with it. But this team's already celebrating like they know that they're going to get the ball. Doesn't make any sense because they do not have the ball whatsoever. See, I'm going to fuck this up. And the referee comes in, signaling it already. Chiefs ball. Fucking Redskins ball. Excuse me. Redskin ball. And then this guy over here, he's like, "Hey, I got the ball." And then you can see his linemen. He's like, "What? But we have the ball, bro. What's going on?" So basically just trying to say, the refs rigged it. The fumble was clearly recovered by this dude, and it very much was, even from the other angle. And he comes right up with it, and they signal the ball for Washington. So, and if you watch the whole thing, they don't overturn it. They snap the ball really quick, and they keep going. It's hilarious. I'm telling you, they gave the ball to Washington. Even after seeing this, I don't understand how you can think that was a reasonable call. I think it was the first chick ref too. The comments down here are fucking brutal. Oh, it's come on, give us some good ones here. Browns fans trying to understand a 1-in-15 season. Female ref, enough said. Take off the tinfoil hats. Oh my god, of course. Yeah, the refs claimed that they saw the Redskin player recover the ball when they clearly didn't, so they instantly called it for the Redskins and wasn't challenged. But yeah, they're tripping. It's like these people, like, they want to believe fake shit. Like, that was not. How are you trying to actually defend that referee? That is fucking hilarious. This is unbelievable. Oh yeah, Johnson ripped it out of the pile, but you can see from the other angle it bounces right into his hands, and then he just stands right back up. He didn't rip it out of anyone's hands. It's so funny. People want to believe fake shit. It's unbelievable. And I feel like there's a lot of that there'll be obviously scripted boxing matches or fights, and people will be there on the YouTube comments when people have admitted that they're fake, and they'll be like, no way it's fake. Why would they make that person lose? That doesn't make sense. It was their big that was their big their money maker. Why would they have him lose? Because it causes drama, and people talk about it, and then the media goes crazy. More people watch the fight or whatever it is, and they get more money. They're trying to cause controversy. But that's just the argument for people who believe that a lot of this shit is scripted. Yeah, like, why would they purposely have the Patriots lose then? Well, because it makes a cool story. Who fucking knows why? Don't ask me. I don't know. I'm just investigating. This is the one that really fucked me up. I watched this live, and I instantly knew it was horse shit. God damn it. He just completely whiffs the receiver. The safety completely whiffs. That doesn't make any sense. I don't care if you're a Saints fan, if you're a Vikings fan. If you think this is legit, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. Are you fucking kidding me? How could you think that's legit? He purposely missed that. Hands down. How do you? No. It's a no. And you take out your own guy here. Obviously took a dive. There's another couple good ones like this, but it's just so obvious. This is bullshit. And being the last play of the game, you play that safe. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you just wait back a little bit and then keep him in bounds and the game's over because there was 10 seconds when the play started. So, tackle him in bounds. They can't get back to the line of scrimmage to get another play in. But no, he completely whiffs on purpose. That was so obviously bullshit. And then his acting when he gets in the end zone is so bad. He's like acting surprised. It is so funny. But yeah, I don't buy that shit at all. I'm sorry. That one was definitely bullshit to me. I don't know if he threw the game on purpose, like he was told before the play, don't make the tackle. Whatever you do, don't make the tackle. Just fucking miss him so we can have the Vikings win and you'll get a bonus or something. I don't know what it is. And then you see Drew Brees walking off the field after that. He was just stone-faced. He didn't care, even a little bit. You watch, and I was watching, I was like, wait, why isn't Drew Brees pissed off? That doesn't make any sense. That was such a bad play. You think he'd be upset, you think maybe he'd, do something. No, he had his helmet off and he just walked right off the field. Like nothing had happened. He didn't care at all. Which, I personally wouldn't care, especially because all your money's in the bank already. It doesn't matter really what the outcome of that game is. I'm pretty sure he has a couple, or at least one, Super Bowl ring, so he's not worried about that. So I don't know. I have no idea, really. And I think this one's kind of bullshit. People are like, oh, this referee was celebrating with the Patriots. But maybe he was just trying to calm him down because they were celebrating. He thought it was funny, and the guy probably said something funny to this little guy. But that is pretty fucking funny. I've never seen a referee that happy after a touchdown. I just don't think that's a very good example of NFL being rigged. Like, just because this dude's... Maybe they said something funny, dog. Yeah, he probably said something funny. Because that's not... And the guy even kind of, pleads with him, like, what? We're celebrating, dude. But yeah, they were kind of getting into a little tiff or something, and so he separated them, and he's like, okay. So who knows? I don't know. That doesn't seem like evidence of it being the referees being on the Patriots side or anything, so I don't know. It is fishy, though, some of the pass interference calls or the holding calls that they can just, at any moment call, but I just can't see how hard these dudes play for them to want to, because they want Super Bowl rings. Like, think about it. From a little kid, you think about that as your dream. You're not going to throw the game just because someone higher up told you to. You want that fucking Super Bowl ring. So I'm sure there's a lot of players who, if it is rigged or somehow influenced by the referees or whatnot, I could see some players being like, "No, I'm not changing the way I play at all. You can't tell me not to do that. I'm going to catch the pass. I'm not going to drop it. I'm not going to miss the tackle on purpose." And it's funny because the guy in this Saints game who completely missed the tackle, I fucking deleted it. He said, or he's a rookie. So putting that in perspective, it's kind of funny to think, he just missed the tackle. He's a rookie. He just missed the tackle. That doesn't make any sense. You think he'd want to like play that one smart? He's a professional. He'd know what the fuck to do. He'd tackle him inbounds and the game would be over. It makes no sense for him to flail at his other teammate. That makes no sense to me. I can't believe anyone actually believes that was a legit thing. And this is what they do to distract us. They hit us with some stupid conspiracy theory, Deflategate. And this is funny as fuck. You go down here, and this is classic. People always defend these silly, they go, this is it. So the science that proves the balls weren't deflated is going to be ignored. Okay. The science that proves the balls weren't deflated. The science, huh? There's science of deflated balls, huh? Science, huh? That must be a troll. There's no fucking way. But there's a lot of people who say shit like that. We're going to ignore the science that John Jones proves that John Jones didn't do steroids, that proves that he's innocent. We're going to ignore the science. Everyone always resorts to science. And they had never described what the science supposedly proves. They just say science as if we're supposed to just take, oh yeah, I side with science. It's fucking annoying. Which I do think John Jones took steroids, but I didn't look at all the evidence. So if someone says that, they have to actually, show me the example of the evidence that supposedly proves him innocent. But yeah, so that kind of transitions into some other shit here, which is, are there MMA fights that are fixed? And for me, it'd have to be super obvious. I just don't see how or why you would fix an MMA fight, because the money is made on it being real. People are relying on actually seeing a real fight, because the drama beforehand and afterhand wouldn't be interesting if the fight wasn't real. That's why everyone gets excited, like, oh, Johnny's fighting at 3:00 at the flag. Let's go watch him fight. Is the fact that it's real. It's like a real fight. So I don't know why they would rig MMA fights when the drama and the money comes from it being real. So I have no idea. I kind of doubt it, but I do think in certain fights that UFC would probably prefer certain fighters to win. They kind of let that fighter get an extra beatdown put on him. Like, you basically have to put the guy completely to sleep for the referee to stop the fight, which basically could, referees, that's his job, is to save the fighter from themselves and from a brutal beatdown, like in Shane Carwin versus Brock Lesnar, where Shane Carwin was just brutalizing Brock Lesnar, and the referee was not stopping the fight. Which is, when I went back and watched it, I'm like, I guess he could have stopped it a few times here when Shane would put a flurry on him, and he's just sitting there, covering up on the ground. And I think a lot of other situations, referees would have stopped that fight. But, with Brock being the draw, maybe he was told, if Brock goes down, let him fight out of it. And if Shane Carwin goes down, stop that fight right away. And maybe we'll give it some extra money. See, the thing that is a red flag to me, and people will be like, they see it as a positive, like thinking this is a good thing. But for the Conor McGregor Khabib fight, Herb Dean got paid $20,000. People are like, wow, good for her. What a good guy. Only doing this for $20,000. All I can think is how easy it would be to bribe him. And then you look at Conor McGregor putting his toes in the fence, grabbing the shorts of Khabib, kneeing Khabib on the ground. And I'm a Conor McGregor fan, so I'm just being honest with the rules that were broken. There were probably some other ones too, but also John Jones and his eye pokes, which actually I think he didn't poke Gustafsson in the eye the last fight, so I think Gustafsson poked him in the eye, but whatever. So it's just weird seeing certain referees in certain situations maybe we'll get a little bribe going, or just say, maybe the UFC influences them a little bit. I know fighters have personally told referees, if I get hit, if I get dropped, let me fight until I'm completely out. They don't want it to be prematurely stopped. They want to be out cold, which I guess I respect, but that's kind of psychopathic when the ref's job is to save you from yourself. You can't tell him, no, let me go out of my shield out there. He's like, well, no, because I have a job to do. So, I don't really think there's much fixing in MMA. If there was at some point, I didn't catch it because it all seemed real to me. Those people were, big fights, people were getting fucked up, so I could only see like maybe some Ronda Rousey fights and those crazy, goofy finishes she had in like 16 seconds, but I don't know. Makes me think of John Jones's next opponent, Anthony Smith, who came out of nowhere, which I personally think the light heavyweight weight class is looking a little thin nowadays as far as contenders for the title. So it's funny to see Anthony Smith come out of nowhere and all of a sudden be fighting John Jones at UFC 235. And it's like, does Anthony Smith really even have a chance? He's coming up from middleweight, which he is a big middleweight. And now he's going to fight at 205 pounds with, come on, top 3 best fighters that's ever stepped in the octagon. It's hard to deny John Jones that, steroids or not, because he also defeated all the uber roided out guys early on before USADA was implemented. But if you look at the light heavyweight fighters back then, when John Jones was before pre-USADA, and the light heavyweights he's fighting now, the difference is unreal. Light heavyweights are starting to look like heavyweights now, like a little bit of extra meat on them, flab, whatever you want to call it. I'm not saying they're out of shape or anything. It's just, they're a little bit bigger, and they're not like juice to the gills, veins pumping out of their forehead, which I love personally. I say, if there's a sport that needs steroids back, it's baseball, but we won't go there. This is always a good example. Barry Bonds early in his career versus old. Fuck it. Let's see if we can get a good picture here. Here you go. His head grew tremendously. He put another 50% into that head and neck. Jesus Christ. Look at that. He's huge compared to this little boy right here. It's too bad. Now baseball has no viewers whatsoever. So it's kind of funny. Stadiums are dead. It's just insane to think. They'll have to cause some drama. There'll have to be some sort of beef started between teams or something to get anyone to watch that anymore. surprised I'm doing this podcast by myself. Usually I have a guest, but no one was around I could just bring on. So, and they probably didn't want to talk about the NFL being rigged or the UFC. So I guess I'm just here talking about shit I'm interested in, so I don't have to pander to a guest. This card's gonna be good, but honestly, I think I might skip it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I might actually stay on here. Check these fights out. Now I'll probably end up watching them, but honestly, there's been a ton of UFC events, and I spend a lot of time watching that shit, so I gotta cool it off, give it a break. It's funny how a whole UFC event got canceled, and look at all these fights that were on it, and they just fucking canceled it. They didn't have a headlining event, apparently, so they just scrapped it and then turned it into a couple of UFC cards. Which I understand a fighter wanting to come back quick after a knockout, but he needs some time to relax because he got knocked the fuck out last time against Justin Gaethje, which I called, but I won't toot my own horn too much. I noticed that when he backs up away from a fighter attacking him, he does this like wobble back and forth with his chin up thing, and I think he was trying to circle to the left, and Justin just cut him off and took his head off with a overhand right that was just brutal, and he gave him a couple good smacks on the ground, but he was knocked out too, just for a good measure. Justin Gaethje apparently is mad at the UFC too, which I guess I understand, but when you go out there fighting like a meathead and you don't, you're on a 3-2 fight losing streak, just because you're an entertaining fighter doesn't mean you're going to get a title shot. That's something we learned. You have to basically talk mad shit, sell pay-per-views to get a title shot nowadays. So, which we're kind of seeing here at UFC 234, where we have these young blood here. This fight being put on at the same time as the championship, clearly trying to line those schedules up. Which I'm stoked to see Robert Whittaker fighting someone who's not Yoel Romero. Who's terrifying. It's terrifying. And this will be a good striking match. Well, we'll see. But this is going to be a dope fight. But, I mean, I just think you're going to need to bring TRT back because he's 43. And why would you do this to Anderson Silva? This dude's lightning quick. It's fucked up. Oh, yeah, I wanted to go back to Anthony Smith. I wasn't done finishing talking about that. Derp. He, basically, something I noticed about him is it's not like he has I don't think he necessarily has the tools to beat John Jones, but he does have some very good tools in his toolbox. Like, we kind of look at like what has been successful against John Jones. And the only times I've ever seen him be hit really is when people are faster than him and he can get into his range with combinations, with quick combinations essentially. Because John Jones just puts his arm out and then just backs away. He has great defense for fighters who like to come forward. And he like invites fighters to come forward. I don't know if that... I mean, it must be part of his strategy because he just walk fighters into his punches and kicks. And maybe it's helping him set up his timing. But you see some fighters, their pressure is one of their biggest tools. So it's funny to see John Jones. His way is trying to get people to come into his range, and then he pops them from really far out. And he usually only throws one punch or one kick at a time. So it's not like he gets himself in danger through some wild striking exchange. And I don't think he's going to change that with Anthony Smith at all. He'll be throwing a lot of he does like a very, he has a lot of combos of, he's very inconsistent with where he's throwing the strike. So it'll be a leg kick. The next one will be a body kick. The next one will be a head kick. He never just goes leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, leg kick, body kick, body kick, body kick. It's always mixing it up all the time. Same with his hands. And he'll do the step in elbow or just like creative stuff like that and mix it up. So the other fighter doesn't really know what's coming. Hence Daniel ducking into that head kick and getting knocked out. And a few other fights I could give examples of. But I did see in the Machida fight that Machida was getting in on Jones, but John Jones was coming back. He was like moving backwards, so it wasn't very much power in the punches even when he did get hit. And so Anthony Smith, though, has a lot of power when he comes forward and fucks dudes up when he comes forward. And you can see when Anthony turns it up, which I think there's certain fighters, like John Jones has this as well, but Anderson Silva, you see that a lot with him, and Israel. But mainly, you'll see him when Anderson turns it up, he's like twice as fast as the other dude, and he just has a lot of energy. And so when he turns it up, he's going to get the finish. When he decides he's going to finish, he gets a finish. And I see this with Anthony Smith as well. When he decides he sees his opportunity, he's going to go for it. He really lays it on dudes. So I'm hoping he just comes out aggressive, because what are you going to do? You're going to win a decision against John Jones to take the belt? No. There's no way. You have to go out there guns a-blazing in the first 3 rounds, which there's actually a YouTube channel that says it's like they made this video called third round Anthony Smith, because he starts really measured, and he tries to make a lot of reads on his opponent, and he's trying to use timing and get their timing down so that he can throw strikes maybe when they throw strikes, or as a counter to one of their strikes that he's looking for. So by the 3rd round, he's kind of gotten a read on his opponent, and then he turns it up and beats them. And also, he's done a lot of 3-round fights, so it's not like he can save his energy for that 3rd round. He doesn't have to, in that 3rd round, he has energy saved, and then he blows it all out because he knows it's the last round. And I feel like he would finish a lot of fighters earlier in the fight if he just turned it up in round 2, but it's much more risky. And Anthony Smith is very tough. He actually looks like a hardcore meathead, but if you hear him talk, he's like a total nerd. He's like wears glasses and is super respectful martial artist. Yeah, we're not talking about the NFL anymore. We've digressed. Maybe I should change the title. Because I'm pretty sure I've been talking about MMA for 20 minutes now, but whatever. You can put up with it. UFC's better than NFL anyway, and it's not rigged, so suck it. No, I don't think it's rigged necessarily. I don't know. I'm not in those. I wish I could be a fly on the wall for those conversations with the commissioner. Who is that? Is it the commissioner of the NFL? He looks like a straight up Sith Lord. I can't even spell. Let's see. No, it's not this guy. Is it like the owner? I wonder who the owner is. Is there even an owner? Young Gun Biscotti, second youngest sole owner of an NFL. No, that's not what I'm talking. That's not what I'm looking for. No. Who is it? I don't know. Wrong guy. Maybe it's baseball. One of those dudes, one of the owners of one of those big sports leagues, is the creepiest looking dude I've ever seen in my life. He looks like 140 years old. He looks kind of like a creepy face. For sure, probably has a 16-year-old girlfriend. That kind of creepy, or boyfriend. Knowing these weirdos, I won't start talking about pedophilia in the NFL. I won't go there. But yeah, so like I was saying, Anthony Smith, I don't necessarily think has a huge advantage over John Jones, but he has many tools he can use against John Jones to potentially defeat him. And I would say, round 3's TKO or KO, if it's going to happen, or John Jones gets the best of him in the first few rounds. But that's the thing. Anthony Smith is tough as nails. So, and John Jones, he's powerful, but it usually takes him a few rounds to, read his opponent and then start putting the beat down on him. So we'll see how that all goes. That's all I wanted to talk about right now. 35 minutes. I should probably go longer, but we'll call it here. Hopefully this all worked out. Nothing got fucked up, which, knowing me, I'm sure something fucked up, but that is it. Go ahead and call it here. Cheers. Peace out.